Greetings, Christopher J. here with another episode of Gnome's Newcomers, where we learn the real reasons why people are moving to this awesome state in mass numbers. So honored today to be joined by Dustin and Lee here at Cole-Tac Company in Rapid City. Welcome, you two. Thanks for joining us on Gnome's Newcomers.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
You bet. So we were talking off camera a little bit about your humble upbringings and starting a business that basically caters to the gun ownership and gun industry, which is very important, and a lot of different tentacles to that. So Dustin, could you just give us a quick overview on what Cole-Tac does, number one, and then how'd you guys start out?
Right, so we provide cut and sewn products for the hunting, sport shooting, military, law enforcement communities. So everything from bags and pouches and different kind of sewn gear like that. And we make everything in-house, so we're taking rolls of fabric, cutting it up, and putting it together. Started in our spare bedroom out in New Hampshire, actually, with a suppressor cover because I actually wrecked one that I bought from somewhere else, and she got mad at me. It happens. So I had some coworkers who saw the ones that we made, and they just asked for some. So we were like, we'll put up a small little website and start offering these. And then we got a lot of popularity with that. Started offering other products as well. It took over from our spare bedroom down to our basement, took over the entire basement, built a garage, made it about 6 months in there before we outgrew the garage that we built, thinking that was going to be our forever home. And then, bought a building, outgrew that in a year and a half, now leasing a building out there. And then what happened is we're in a remote part of New Hampshire, rural part of New Hampshire, and ran out of people that we could hire to keep up with the growth that we were seeing. So we started looking for another place, and that was January of 2020, and moved here in 2021, and now it's been about a year, and we've already pretty much outgrown this place.
Wow, is all I can say. Yeah. Congratulations. Lee, the American dream, this is it. It's alive and well. Anyone out there in this country can pursue the American dream. If you went, doing this on the side, right, you space in the bedroom, went to the basement, went to the garage, now let's go find a building. The American dream is alive and well, isn't it, Lee?
Yes, it definitely is. And especially for me, I was not born in this country, and if you told me, I don't know, even 5 years ago, 10 years ago that this would happen, I would say, no way, but we're living it.
Yeah, and look at what you two are doing here in South Dakota now. You're contributing to the economic development out here in Rapid City and to the state in general. You're providing people with jobs and a great way of life. That is really what this state is all about. And the leadership under Governor Nome is all about that, finding the American dream and pursuing, what you want to do, your passions, and you guys have nailed that. So, speaking of Governor Nome, Dustin, you met her in a kind of an interesting way. Could you kind of tell our viewers how that happened?
Right. So we came out here. It was September of 2020. We came out here there's a buffalo roundup, and there was a little meet and greet, and Governor Nome walks up to us and starts talking to us, and I knew exactly who she was, and was trying to be all prim and proper, and Lee has no idea, like she's not a political person, and she's started holding just a normal conversation about her horses that she has that she loves, and her and Governor Nome were just talking back and forth as if they were like friends from forever, and it was just like a normal everyday conversation. It was neat to see.
Yeah, Lee, do you recall obviously that whole thing? Can you just talk a little bit about how fun it was and how she was? Yeah, how she is.
So yeah, she came out. I had no idea who she was, and we just started talking. And then it was a good conversation. But then another person asked me, "Do you know who that was?" And I said, "No." And she's like, "That's Governor Nome." I was like, "Oh."
What a neat compliment between the two of you,
right.
In your various ways of approaching people and talking to people and that kind of thing. And that is so true, isn't it? I mean, the vast majority of the people that I speak with who have moved here too, not only her leadership, but she's one of us, isn't she? She's really not, a stiff-necked politician from Washington, D.C. She's one of us. That's really neat. Dustin, your business with Lee, talk a little bit about the various, subsidiaries, if you will, of pockets of business that you reach and what you make. You mentioned earlier off camera, law enforcement, the military community, the people who are hunters. Can you touch on that and how important that is?
Oh, I mean, that's everything to us. And, you know, we really focus on small niches. So suppressed shooting, we make suppressor covers. So it's super critical for us as far as firearms ownership and being able to own, you know, any of those items, including suppressors and competitive long-range shooting gear that goes for both competitions, but also law enforcement and military sniper units, and making sure that they have the correct tools and the best tools to complete their jobs. And you know, most of our ideas are coming from that world where, you know, they ask, hey, you know, we have this issue, you know, we're trying to find a solution for it. Can you do it? And we'll, you know, sit down, tinker, and you know, brainstorm and come up with a custom solution for them, so that way they have the best tools available to them.
That's awesome. So it's not only the right to bear arms, I mean, which is huge, you know, in this nation right now, and all the political attacks of too much government wanting to control everything we do, that being one of them. But you're also supporting those essential other industries that deal with our national security.
Right.
That's huge. Both of you, on behalf of Governor Noem, congratulations on this awesome business here in Rapid City. I understand you're expanding too, and you're growing. You're providing all this great way of life and jobs for these people. And thank you so much for being on Noem's Newcomers.
Thanks for
Thank
having
you.
us.
Yeah, you bet. Well, there you have it, folks. Right here on Noem's Newcomers, talking about, you know, economic development, pursuing the American dream, and look at the skills and talents that Dustin and Lee are bringing to this state to make it even better. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you again soon.